This is a battle in Attila the Great's tournament. It's Poccopacs versus Armenian King again. And it's quite funny because a lot of the same players end up in the high tiers of tournament play. And lately we've seen a lot from Llewellyn of Agartha, Panda Warrior, Poccopacs and the Armenian King. They are consistently very good players that are hard to beat. So these are the semifinals in the tournament. Poccopacs beat Attila himself to advance to meet the Armenian King. This battle is Poccopacs commanding the Getae, while the Armenian King is commanding the Boii. And the battle is the Battle of Armavir. In this battle, the Boii are going to have the advantage of terrain. They're going to enjoy a comfortable advantage in infantry because the Boii has such strong mid-tier infantry, while the Getae lack good mid-tier infantry. They have axe warriors, but axe warriors are no match for sword followers. 6 sword followers, Oathsworn General, 2 Celtic warriors on each flank, Levy Freeman speed bumps, Celtic slingers, Levy Freeman, and a total of 5 heavy horse. And heavy horse is going to defeat the spare horsemen of the Getae very easily. I can't really see what Poccopacs has brought here, but I believe he has 5 mercenary folksmen. He had 3 bow horse. I also believe he had 3 spare horse and 3 noble swords. So the bow horse are going to start moving up and start doing damage to the Levy Freeman. Kind of a waste of ammunition there. They have to be careful because the Celtic slingers are going to be able to do a lot of damage to the lightly armored bow horse. Very nicely done here by Armenian in just pushing away the bow horse using his Celtic slingers. The Levy Freemen are going down super quickly, but wasting ammunition on Levy Freemen instead of firing at units like sword followers or using the bow horse to take care of the heavy horse, I think that's a mistake by Poccopacs. So Armenian can't really see where the armies of Poccopacs are now, and that is nicely done by Poccopacs, because if Armenian King starts moving in the wrong direction, he might find himself outflanked. So the Getae might be moving up through the forest here, they might be moving up through the forest here, they might have units hidden on different parts of the map. So I quite like what Poccopacs is doing here. It's frustrating as all hell when an opponent does this. He's going to send his bow horse into hiding now as well, and now Armenian can't see a single unit of the Getae on the field. Very unusual but very cool gameplay here by Poccopacs. So Armenian is going to have to start scouting, and when scouting is going to be vulnerable to skirmishing, and it's going to be vulnerable to getting surrounded and having his units be isolated. So he's going to keep these units in the back to scare off enemy bow horse. Then he's going to start scouting forwards. He needs to be careful again because the Celtic slingers are so close to these bow horse. Manages to bait a javelin volley of the Levy Freeman, nicely done. Bow horse taking some fire from Celtic slingers, but nothing major. And the bow horse are sort of surrounding the formation of Armenian King. So ideally, he wants to skirmish for as long as possible, do as much damage as possible as he can to the Boii army. But again, firing at the Levy Freeman, I'm not really sure that's a good way of using the limited ammunition that he has on his bow horsemen. Celtic slingers still getting the shots in against the bow horse. Baiting some more javelins, getting some hits, shooting at the sword followers now. Good choice. If he can do enough damage to sword followers in the opening of the battle, it's going to be massive for him. And I can just imagine Armenian King's frustration here in not being able to see Poccopacs and not being able to know where he's supposed to engage. But Armenian King is using his Celtic slingers and his Levy Freemen to great effect here in getting damage done on the bow horse. So very nicely done. And using Levy Freeman to waste the ammunition of bow horse is going to be worth it. It's not great losing the javelins on the levy freemen because those are important, but again, just Poccopacs being able to destroy the levy freemen isn't really going to impact the effectiveness of the Boii army to a significant degree. Moving through the forest in the center here, I am very anxious to see where Poccopacs is going to be bringing his forces out from. Sniping the general of using heavy shot on the general, nicely done here by Poccopacs. But he is still taking fire from the Celtic Slingers. Celtic Slingers, very nice addition to this Boii army. It means that the Bohors always have to keep moving and always have to be careful about where they engage. But again, using this sort of tactic against the Boii rush is is very smart by Poccopacs. It's going to have to make the Boii move a lot and potentially get itself into dangerous positions. So more heavy shots coming in from the Bohors. Again on the levy freemen, like I said, I don't know about that, how good of an idea it is. Here we have some nice shots coming in against the sword followers, and this is what he wants to do. And here we have the entire army of Poccopacs just posting up on the flanks of the Armenian King, extremely well kited with his Bohors here, and then just showing his entire army in Armenian King's flanks. So Armenian King really has to reorient his lines and start rotating here. Spear Horse coming in. The Spear Horse is going to be able to destroy the levy freemen, might even make it into the Celtic Slingers. So the levy freemen are going to die to that Spear Horse charge. Armenian King is organizing his lines nicely now, and now we can see the army of Poccopacs. Two Dacian bows, 5 Folksmen, a bunch of 4 Spear Horse, 3 nobles, and 3 mercenary axe warriors. He has to be careful here because he is going to get caught by heavy horse, and that is very bad for him. Getting a nice charge on 2 units of levy freemen here. If he pulls out now, that could be a very good charge for him, destroying the levy freemen like that. So he is quickly dealing with the spear support of the Boii, and these Celtic Slingers are just ripe for the picking. The Bohors can charge in, and Poccopacs is going to grab the opportunity to get the Celtic Slingers off the field. Very nicely done and very risky by Armenian King. He's going to move his heavy horse into support, but I don't think he's going to be able to move them in time for the Bohors to be able to charge the Celtic Slingers here. If he just pulls out his Bohors now, he's going to be able to save them and to destroy the Celtic Slingers. He needs to pull them out really quickly here. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to pull them out in time. Maybe they ran out of ammunition, I don't know. Here we have Celtic Warriors wavering from a Spear Horse charge, very nicely done. We have Heavy Horse coming into the front line of the Getae army. It's going to rob so many units of their charge bonuses, very nicely done here by Attila. Poccopacs is not able to get charges with his most important units. This is massive. Very nicely done by Armenian King. Here we're going to see a charge against Celtic Warriors, but the follow-up from Sword Followers is going to absolutely wreck the... it's absolutely going to wreck the Noble Swords. And here the Noble Swords are finally getting a decent charge. The general of Poccopacs is a strategist, so he'll be able to use Headhunt to good effect here and battle with them. The Folksmen are moving around. Spear Horse being defeated, and Poccopacs did not pull out his bow horse in time, so the Celtic Slingers are still on the field. Very dangerous mercenary Folksmen moving around the flanks together with Spear Horse support. Dacian bows are still alive. Folksmen doing a lot of damage to Celtic Warriors, but Celtic Warriors is not a good matchup for Folksmen. They need to go in against the Sword Followers. Here we have mercenary axe warriors becoming defeated very easily by the Sword Followers. In the center, the general of Poccopacs is not doing well. He mismicroed the important thing. He did a beautiful early game, but in the late game, when the infantry engagement started happening, he wasn't able to get the charges that he needed. The Boii was able to. Now he's going to move around the flanks on these sword followers, do a lot of damage to them with the Folksmen. But still, I think the Boii has this, because they got the better infantry engagements. And now we have Heavy Horse moving in towards the Dacian Bowmen. The Dacian Bowmen are going to lose here. Folksmen moving away from the main engagement. The general of Poccopacs is not doing well. If Poccopacs had managed to get better engagements in the start and to stop the cavalry of the Boii from wrecking his lines, he could have done very well for himself here. A unit of sword followers going down in the center due to being outflanked by the Folksmen. The noble swords and the sword followers are going to be surrounded here. And somehow the dash and bows managed to survive, very important. So now the Folksmen are going to destroy the heavy horse down here. And there's not a lot of cavalry left on the field for Armenian King, surprisingly enough. Dash and bows doing a lot of damage to the Celtic warriors. This heavy horse should be defeated by these two spear horse. There is one unit of heavy horse free here. And the Celtic warriors are going down so quickly. But the general of Poccopacs is not doing well here. He's going to go down momentarily. And that is very bad for the Getae. Doing well here against the Celtic warriors and the sword followers. Getting a nice charge with the Folksmen against the sword followers. But Poccopacs is going to have to pull off some serious MLG gameplay in order to win this. Celtic warriors are chasing away the dash and bowmen. And Poccopacs is not splitting off his bows here, which I think is a mistake. He should be able to defeat the heavy horse. No, he's actually not going to be able to defeat the heavy horse, because the heavy horse has Celtic slinger support. He's going to use the spear horse. Oh no, the Celtic warriors get into the dash and bows, so that's a GG. That is a GG. But I must say, this strategy from Poccopacs, it could have worked if he was more on point with his infantry engagements. Then he could have made this work. I think it was a very cool strategy. It's so frustrating when an opponent does this. But this one unit of heavy horse now is going to be able to defeat the spear horse, and the infantry of Poccopacs is just going to crumble. He's going to defeat the sword followers down here, but there is just too much Boii left on the field. The spear horse are going to be defeated by the heavy horse. The noble swords are going to go down, and I think we'll see a massive difference in the amount of kills between the melee units on Poccopacs' side and the melee units on Armenian King's side. The last Getae forces are barely holding out, and but now it looks like there's nothing they can do. They are becoming defeated. And let's have a look at the kills here. The noble swords did better than I expected, but they did just about as well as the sword followers, because Armenian King used his cavalry so well. The bow horse got quite a lot of kills, but so did the Folksmen, to be fair. But the mercenary axe warriors and the noble swords were in large shut down by the cavalry of Armenian King. So Armenian King was in a very tough spot, but he was able to pull it through and show how great of a commander he is. A very nice game between these two players. And it's a best of 3, so we will see at least one more game, possibly 2 from these players. Strength and honor.